but it is fantastic. So I really appreciate it. And there you go. That's it. But that's not it, because now we're moving on to our second gaming talk. So first of all, we did a amazing, thank you very much, amazing style of content today, which was Seven Night Rebirth. So you guys know that I played Seven Night Rebirth, right? And this is gonna be a very cool video to make, so I'm super excited. You guys know that I did a Seven Nights Rebirth review, where I was saying that the game is fantastic. You got everything to like about the game. However, I don't know much about the characters. I don't know their backstory. I don't know the story. The story itself is actually really good. The story itself is actually really freaking good. But then today we're doing it speed up 1,035%. It's gonna be freaking amazing. 1,035, that's not a lot. That's a lot. It's a big bounce from 100 to 1,000, but 35 is not a lot. So yeah, so with Seven Nights Rebirth, it was fun, but it's one of those game where it's so automatized that like you jump out of the game because it's automatic, and then you get bored because you're not doing anything, but then you're brought back in because like, hey, the game is still going on when there's story, right? Today, however, oh, that was disgusting. Ooh, disgusting. We tried Seven Nights Rebirth, and I gotta tell you that Seven Nights Rebirth was absolutely no, I'm so sorry. Seven Nights Idol was absolutely fantastic. What a cool game! What a great game! I freaking adore that. So I'm gonna show you the footage of how cool it was. Now there was a little problem, which is a non-issue. It's an issue with a non-issue. So look at this. Look at this. Oh, you're not gonna be able to see. Okay, sorry guys. My bad. My bad. But it's so cool. Honestly, guys, I haven't been excited about gaming in a long time, which is not gonna be true for long because tomorrow we're getting my new phones, and we're starting with Ring Wave, so possibly a good game. But look at this. Seven Night Rebirth and Seven Night Idol. So we did the Seven Night Idol, and Seven Night Idol is, I'm gonna be completely honest, it's a game that I've played, and we talked about Soul Striker. Seven Night Idol was a game that I actually really enjoyed. I really enjoyed it. Oh, give me a sec. I showed something I was not supposed to show. So Seven Night Idol is a story that I cared about. It's a game that I liked. So the truth about Seven Night Idol was I was playing the tower. I'm like, okay, well, this game is really good. This game is really nice. This game is really fun, but it's missing a little bit of a humph, right? And I didn't know where to get the humph, and the humph was hiding beneath a bunch of bullshit, right? So to me, the tower, and this is a fantastic story. This is a very fantastic story. The tower was a great game that I loved. Back in the days when I played that game, I had one playthrough. We now have 8. But even back then, I was like, you know what? The tower's a good game, but it's lacking a little bit of things. So what is it lacking? Well, it's lacking a story. It's lacking some characters. So when I was looking for an idle game to do that, I was kind of looking for something else. And this is where Seven Night Idol came in. Now, Seven Night Idol, I really did enjoy. However, we stopped after one night. Why? I didn't know that you could stop auto doing the bosses. So the constant story evolve, and they're so generous with the rewards that you get like incredible freaking heroes. So like, okay, well, they're just not stopping. So you play for one game for 1 hour, you play for 2 hours, you play for 3 hours. You're like, okay, well, is there a break? No, because you put auto press hero or auto press bosses battle. So yeah, so that was problematic. Now, we did it because we're playing Soul Striker. And in Soul Striker, I'm able to do the auto battle. So, like, you know what? Maybe there's a button like that. Now, this is gonna be fucking so good. So today we do a double 7 nights. So this is insane. So I'm gonna be completely honest. Again, honesty is a big part of my content. It's a big part of who I am as a person. Um, 7 Nights is a great universe. It's a great story, but it's a story that I'm not in. There's too much. I was watching Magic the Gathering And I was like, I want to get in, but there's so much lore that I don't know that it's kind of not realistic, I guess. So yeah. So with that being said, Seven Knights felt the same way, and then Seven Knights had a big update again. I talked about this yesterday. It was what it was, Awakening. I was like, okay, well, this is really fun, but I don't really care. I don't want to get in depth with the game, right? Now, one of the games that does that for me is Soul Striker. One of the games that does that for me is Seven Night Idol. I'm loving the game. I think the story is fantastic. I'm thinking that the game is really fun. However, I don't need to know the updates. The game, just how it is a time waster. You know, it's not something that I'm going to be playing for a long ass time. So I started playing the game, and I'm seeing that the illustration is fun, the main character is fun, but I'm also in the back of my mind thinking about the other playthrough, which is Evan, right? Party. So then I start playing Idol, and we have the Magician Elk, we have some characters, and it's super cool. And the game itself is actually really fun because you got those small, almost childlike characters that's a bit weird. And like, okay, well, I'm not super down for that. But when you look at the character itself, it actually is a proper characters. Now, this is also the craziest part. Idol is a fun game. It's not a perfect game. It's not the story is impressive. It is fast paced. There's a lot going on, which is fun, but it does feel like I'm just watching something that's going fast. I'm watching an anime episode, and it's not an episode; it's a movie, but it feels like a small movie because it's going so fast, you know. So you got to pay attention, otherwise you're losing stuff. And I'm gonna be completely honest; I don't remember much of the playthrough, and we played today the story. Now the story itself, how good it is, this is where it gets really interesting. But before that, one of the coolest thing ever. As much as I don't care about the 17 years of Seven Nights, I might care one day. I might be interested in becoming a member of the universe or the fan base of it. Am I liking the game? Yes, but it would be other characters, and I wouldn't even know the difference, you know? This is what I mean. I had the characters in the Rebirth, and now we're getting them in the Idol. I'm like, oh, I have this hero, so I have the two of them. So what's going to be cool, sorry, with the burp, is I'm going to be able to check out the story behind both hero. And I thought that was the coolest thing. Because I was getting the hero, and I'm like, hey, I got him on Rebirth. Hey, I got him on Idol. That was really interesting. It was really fun. And then on Idol, the coolest thing is you can have 10 party members. On Rebirth, you can have 5. So technically speaking, I have 15. Now, there's the coolest thing ever. And that is going to be the end all be all of this review of why I'm loving the game and the plan behind it, right? So, why am I loving the game is, although I'm not part of the universe, the story of Rebirth is actually pretty simple. It's the 7 Knights, and they're trying to destroy the Order. So you're this guy who's trying to protect the Order and make sure that the 7 Knights are there to protect the world, right? Because that's their job. So you follow a party, right? And this is gonna be insane because this is much later. Also, I'm gonna talk about Idol a lot more, but that's because Idol's it's newer for me. So you go through the quest, and you meet this character called Ivania. So Ivania is a sister, and the craziest thing is, I don't know if it's fate or something, but the first time we played, the story was the two sisters, Ivania and Elania. Elania from hell, Evania from heaven. You understand? So this is kind of cool. And in the Seven Night Rebirth, you follow Ivania. So you don't follow Ivania, you follow Evan and his group, but Ivania is part of the group looking for her sister. In Idol, you follow Elenia. You don't follow Elenia, she's part of your group, and they're both looking for their sister. So why is that so cool? Why is that so cool? Because at first I was not necessarily annoyed, but I was like, okay, well, this is not cool. Which is not true. I thought it was kind of cool. Okay, so it's complex. I thought it was kind of cool, but at the same time, it's a bit of a letdown. So I do the first chapter for Idol, and I'm like, wait a second, the story is the same. We're following Chris that killed somebody, and then you realize Chris has been framed. Okay, we saw that before, right? We saw that before. And then you go to the second one. And it's the girl with the lens fighting against the phoenix. Like, oh, okay, well, we saw that one. We did see that one. So you realize it's the same. But again, what changes is the different path. So you're witnessing the same event, but you're doing a different path. So, for example, in Rebirth, you meet this character called James. James is super important in the thing. So James goes in and he's just a normal soldier, but he's also one of the most loyal soldier to one of the seven knights. Remember the seven knights? And James get killed, right? But James get killed and gets transformed into an undead. So then James is said to be killed by another seven knight, which creates a war because she betrayed the first seven knights. It's like, oh my god, you killed my lieutenant or something like that. You betrayed. And she's like, no, I didn't kill him. And then James is like, no, it wasn't her. It wasn't her. So then they start fighting, which is kind of cool. So you don't have that in Idol, right? But you have Idol, you have the girl with the sphere trying to protect you. And she's like, hey, it's kind of cool, right? So the story is very similar. And it's a letdown because you want to get more story, but it's a pro because, like, okay, well, I'm already part of a universe that I don't know. It's already intimidating because I'm not sure what's going on, and I don't know what's going on, and I don't know who the character are. I don't know what their motivation is. I don't know who's a good guy and who's the bad guy. I assume the main character is a good guy, but who's the bad guy? That I don't know, right? So there's a lot of really cool thing, and Idol plays very well, but it's just a difference of style. Idol and Rebirth side by side is possibly the best experience I've had in gaming in a long ass time. In a long ass time, it was just so much fun. It was like, dude, this is kind of perfect. This is low key, high key, perfect. Why? Because it was just everything that you wanted more. It was the same story, it was the same game, but just done better. So you have all the characters that you care about, and like, okay, wow, I like these characters. And then you have the perception and where they're coming from, you know? And this is super cool. So I'm definitely gonna do that. We're gonna call this Seven Nights Ultimate because I'm gonna be playing Seven Nights Rebirth and Idol on the same phone, which is basically a second screen like that. Now here's a problem. It's not Seven Nights Ultimate. If there's a third game, I'm not gonna be able to play it. It's two games is enough, right? This is not the tower. This is not Ulala. But apart from that, we're Gucci. We are Gucci. So really enjoy my time, and that's a fact. There you go. That's the video. Guys, I'm starting to get tired. I'm in between not tired and tired, but I'm starting to. So now, what I'm gonna be doing is I take a small break. I'm gonna do Udo Law. I'm gonna finish it off. Then I'm gonna do the Oliver Tree. And yeah, but I'm gonna try to sleep. Tu sors tous les pots du Ziploc, tu prends les pots, si tu prends un médicament, tu le mets dans le Ziploc après. Tu fais la même chose pour chacun des médicaments. Comme ça évite de le mettre dans le four, puis ressortir le même pot une deuxième fois, puis tu prends le même médicament une deuxième fois pour la traitement. Tu comprends? Oui. Faut que tu fasses ça. Là, c'est correct, je t'ai vu, je sais que tu n'as pas trop. Que tu as pris les bons, mais c'est parce que si tu fais cette technique-là, une inadvertance entre deux fois le même, c'est pas aidant. Ouais, non, c'est pas aidant. C'est que ça n'aura pas l'effet voulu. Mais je pense que jamais deux fois plus le même, mais quand même pour éviter les erreurs. Ouais. On va dire un mieux vaut prévenir que guérir.